Yo, yo, yo. Back with another episode.
My bad.
So I got it's cool. You sharing a lot. They know how we start the show off. But to everybody out there in TV land, thank y'all for tuning in. Today we're here with Serge from Supacolor.
How's it going, you guys?
Yeah, before he introduces and get all into it, I'm gonna let my co-host introduce himself. Y'all know me, Mike T.
Seek Paris, man, at 12 going to appear on all your socials. And as he said, man, we brought out the creative Serge. Serge, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, you guys? So good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on here. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So let's get into it, man. Tell us about you. Introduce yourself to the people, would you?
Yeah. Basically, I'm sure a lot of you probably recognize me from the Supacolor videos, but just to let you a little more about who I am, I'm kind of the senior content creator here at Supacolor. So I'm the guy kind of putting together a lot of the cool ideas and making sure they're executed on. In addition to that, I kind of got my own thing going on where I help people consulting on their content creation and how to build a social media following for their business. My background is actually always been in video. I went to school for filmmaking, but I got really into the artwork side of it. That eventually landed me to working with a clothing brand that I was actually doing some promotional videos for them. And from there, got into the creation side of t-shirts. Boom, boom, boom. A whole lot of projects later, I eventually get into the t-shirt industry side of it. So now I'm working here with Supacolor, helping them make it for everyone else. Here we are.
That's dope, man. So
Yes.
what was your role? Explain a little bit in detail your role where you were working with the clothing brand. Sorry for stuttering.
Yeah. So the clothing brand I was working with, they're kind of a lot more tattoo artist oriented. So with that being said, there was a lot of tattoo artists out there who they were having a really hard time being able to make merch with their art because they like to go crazy, they like to go colorful. And the owners of this company, I guess they got a plug with a DTG printer, and that's how they got this community of tattoo artists that they were actually helping them bring these visions to life. So that was how they built their brand. And when I was brought into it, it was more so about documenting the story side of it. So it wasn't so much about the t-shirt, but it's like what the t-shirt meant, the artist, what their meaning was behind the artwork. So it can go into what was their portfolio like. So it would go into like the artist would kind of go through all their artwork style, their portfolio would be like, this is what I like. And the meaning of this, I'm really huge into, like, for example, there was one artist who was really into like the biblical angel, which I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's like the eyeball with like a whole lot of wings, eyeballs on the end of these. So he got really into that and just talking about the spiritual side of it. And then basically giving more meaning to this t-shirt than just, oh, it's cool, I'm gonna wear it. So that's kind of the side of it where I was able to help him create that content. And yeah, from there, I was working with that same company. They worked with a bunch of other different brands, but it was more so on the corporate side. It was just like little things like kitchen appliances, so on and so forth. But the main stepping stone of that journey was just having worked with that t-shirt brand that brought me into there. And from there, falling in love with just that whole craft and just seeing how a t-shirt can be a lot more than just a t-shirt. And I thought that's what was super unique. And we were documenting that story and going above and beyond it.
Yeah, man.
So I gotta ask. Yeah, we greatly appreciate that. Everybody that's out there right now in TV land tuned in, we greatly appreciate y'all tapping in. Serge, before the arts and everything that you got going on with Supacolor, what was you doing prior to?
Prior to doing all, like, basically just going to school, man. If you want the real start of my career, honestly, man, I was just working at Sonic by night, and then all my free time just trying to draw as much as possible, picking up a camera, hanging out with friends who were skating, being like, hey, I'll film you just as long as I can create something cool for you. And they were all for it. And it was in the early days of, Vine, the later days of MySpace. So video was becoming a much bigger thing, not as huge as it is now, but it was kind of like something that people were trying to build their portfolios with, where they were trying to go above and beyond the normal Instagram where it was just photos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's originally how I picked up a camera. But I mean, going way far back, I would say it comes down to just being a kid and just being the youngest kid. All my brothers were already old. They're going out and hanging out with their friends. So if it's just me right there, I was making my own little stories in my head, making my own little movies with action figures and stuff. Yeah. So that was honestly the very beginning of like the storytelling journey, like the earliest memory right there.
Wow. Yeah.
And then fast forward to now, and now here I am, helping Supacolor tell other people's story, how we help them make it and how they're building their own brands.
I want to ask about the Supacolor help you make it. Did you have any part in creating that slogan?
I did not. That's actually from our copywriter we work with. I wish I could be like, yeah, that was me all day, but no, it's actually a super awesome slogan that we wanted. We stuck to it in like the last couple of years, and it's really just become our mantra. We're more than just a heat transfer company. We're helping everyone to the very end.
And it does work. I know. I use you guys and have cured a lot of contracts through using Supacolor. Really appreciate you guys for that. I spread the word as much as possible. So, what was your first initial job like when you walked into Supacolor? I know I'm going all the way to the beginning of things. Like, I know you create content and you do arts and stuff. Do you remember like when you first got with them?
Honestly, when I came in, I was originally hired to help with their social media community management, because anyone who knows Supacolor knows that they kind of came out of nowhere and had a super upward trajectory. So from 2019 to now, they just blew up. So part of that was they were getting so many inquiries online and so on and so forth that they brought me in to kind of reel it in and kind of help build that community. So no, yeah, as far as, between 2020 going into 2022, I was pretty much the one like building the whole Super Fam up and getting all those posts out, creating that content, and with the help of my team, of course. Like we got Renee, we got Clint, and then now we have Job, who is the new guy doing our community management. But it's actually been a really fun journey, and it's a great company to be with because honestly, having been in an industry as long as I have, you get to see all sorts of different sides of people, of where businesses can take you and how things can kind of just really either go positive or negative. So with that being said, Supacolor is a brand that I can honestly stand by and be proud of because we're actually out here helping people. We're not just being like, oh yeah, take this money and then we walk away.
Right.
And that's something that I respect for sure.
So I want to dig in. I want to go back to your roots a little bit, man. So with you helping clothing brands, and now that you have the connections and the job at Supacolor, how has that helped the brand consulting part of your lifestyle, of your business, grow?
As far as the brand consultancy side, I've always been more so on the advertising and social media of it. But with that being said, I've always had people in the clothing brand world that they've always been asking me for help in advertising T-shirts, so on and so forth. But once I started working with Supacolor, it was almost like I was able to give them the cheat code, and because a lot of the problems that especially a super like young clothing brand can make is that you just get way too much inventory.
Right.
Inventory that you don't know if you can sell or if you even have the market to sell that to. So that being said, a lot of the newer brands that would come to me and be like, hey, like, who do you recommend for a print? And be like, hey, what's your market like? Do you even have sales right now? And if you don't, it was an easy entry point for them to be like, oh yeah, I'll just get 10 of this design, see if I can flip it. And even then, if people were hesitant to that, it's not a huge deal because this is always an industry you can get into with just regular DTF printing or just print on demand. So, I mean, Honestly, it's just Supacolor has really just been like a tool that can be offered to anyone. Honestly, whether you're a business or a brand or a maker, just yeah, it's been awesome. And yeah, I would recommend it to anyone, even if you're not like a huge printer, like just to have that option, even in your business, would be awesome. Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
think that's awesome too. You guys have a low minimum of 10, so it makes it very easy for somebody to get in there and get a sample pack or a test run, especially if they're branding. Um, so I
Yeah,
gotta
absolutely.
ask: is Supercolor DTF?
Honestly, we're not DTF in the traditional sense where it's like the normal DTF printer. We're actually kind of a combination of water-based screen printing and an inline 7-color process. So
Mm.
what we're doing is we're doing digital with water-based screen printing right on top of it, and then we're given that quality that you need in addition with the durability of water-based screen printing. So it's honestly been working out for everyone. It's given them the hand feel that they're looking for, and it's washing great. So that's what's been really awesome for everyone ever since it's been started.
Yeah, it definitely works. Like this shirt I got on is Supercolor, and this shirt has been watched so many times. It's just one of my favorite shirts because that's
Yeah.
me. But the washability, the durability of Supercolor transfers is they really do hold up to a lot of wash. I don't do
Yeah, yeah.
nothing special. Wash them, throw them in the dryer with everything else, and like I can't even count how many times this shirt has been washed, and it's still from. This is one of when the gang sheets first came out, and this is like one of the first runs of the gang sheets, and it's still. So y'all know how long that been. It's been
Awesome.
going up for a minute.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
that's super awesome with the washability, and it's also funny because it's also like a blessing and a curse because like you make these awesome shirts and then you go out to like a concert or a sports venue, you see this $60-$80 t-shirt and you're like, what the heck is that? Is that HTV? This is HTV.
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, man. So you're an artist, man. I got to dig into this, man. It's AI, man. AI is taking over right now. So as
Yeah.
a traditional artist, how are you feeling about AI?
No, yeah, I've actually brought this up with Mike the other day in his live. Like, it's honestly, it can be a tool, but it's got its ethical side of it, which it gets kind of like weird because honestly, AI is taking pre-existing artwork that others have made and it's creating its own thing. But honestly, when it comes down to it, what I heard someone argue, which I thought was kind of a solid argument, is how different is that from someone taking in all this art education, Michelangelo, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, Andy Warhol, and creating their own thing. I
Right.
mean, I could see that side of the argument, but at the same time, it's something that's being controlled and ultimately can be detrimental to the artist in the end. But that being said, it is a tool and it can be used like it's something you can be used in terms of the chat side. Like if you got an AI bot on your website helping customers with a chat GPT type of stuff, like that could be really cool. But when it comes to if you're actually depending on Mid-Journey to create your t-shirt design, like 100%, like cool, you're making all the money, but in the end, like the ethics side of it, you're ultimately not really creating original art.
Mm.
But it has that kind of weird debate side of it. It has its pros, it has its cons, but for art as an artist and having talked to other artists, I've seen a lot more cons than pros. But it definitely has its place in the business world and basically everywhere else. But it's a weird place.
It is.
Weird times that are like even your own artwork isn't safe anymore.
Yeah. So with the prompts, so let me ask this. So I put in a prompt, right? And I get whatever my image is. Say I did this in AI and it shot me this image out. Now I take this image and I put it in Affinity Designer or Photoshop or something, and some type of manipulation, maybe add some text to it or some grain, distress it or something like that. How do you feel? Is that something you suggest to do, or
No, like I said, like when you're using that in that aspect, it's ultimately a tool in your artist palette. Like if you look it up, Adobe, they actually just released a new feature in Photoshop where literally
just download it?
Anywhere in your photo, you select it and it'll pop up a little prompt. You'll be like, oh, I want a palm tree that's watercolor, and it'll pop it up. Like as a tool like that, it can be cool, but what I'm saying and what I feel in the end is like if you're popping in a Midjourney prompt, printing that, slapping it on a shirt, and being like, I did this, this is me, boom. I mean, good for you if you make money on it, but if in the end you're doing that and being like, I am an artist, like that's where I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
So you mentioned that Photoshop. You mentioned that Photoshop, the AI in Photoshop, man. What is your opinion on that and that helping with the art?
I mean, I could see its beneficial side. Like say, I don't know, like for example, if you want to do like a cool sci-fi thing and it's not easy to find a UFO to take a photo of, so you can maybe do some cool generative stuff like that.
Right.
Or if you want to generate like creatures, things like that, maybe they could be like a cool tool, but it's definitely a cool tool to check out. And I think as far as it being a tool within Adobe to create stuff, I think that they're going about it the right way. Whereas, like Midjourney and other places, like it's just literally giving you full on artwork.
Right.
Yeah. Which is cool now, but I mean, it's ultimately just weird.
Yeah. I just downloaded that beta today. I haven't had a chance to sit down and play with it. But I feel like now with this AI, man, one way or the other, it's either get on or get left behind at this point.
Yeah, 100%. So like I said, it's definitely got its place as far as bringing it as a tool. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it brings. But it's also going to bring some kind of new, kind of weird controversies. Like there's already weird controversies with Andy Warhol and all that other stuff, like copyright stuff from like decades ago that is barely like going into fruition now. So I can only imagine what AI is going to bring.
For sure. Yeah, because you can't imitate
their style. Copyright is going to be something serious.
Yeah. Because like
that copyright.
At the end of the day, like how can you be so sure that, I mean, you can maybe, it can maybe get progressed to where it'll do this, but later on, like say you're depending on AI to make the artwork and a major part of your artwork was generated from a specific artist who protects all of his artwork, and he's very, very protective of that intellectual property. So if he happens to be litigious, that's where he might be able to have a case in court where it'd be like, oh yeah, it might have been generated by this, so on and so forth, AI generator. But if you look at this is my exact artwork style, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. That's where I can see kind of problems coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be kind of hard to track though, and actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll get hard, but yeah, I just want to see like where this goes. I mean, so far it's been cool. It's also been scary with like people creating their own Donald Trump raps and Eminem playing Fortnite type of stuff.
Yeah, Drake.
Yeah. Like on that side, it can get really weird where like maybe the news you're watching isn't the news at all kind of shit. But
right.
But that being said, there's definitely at some point I could see like rules popping up for AI that's just gonna keep it controlled. But ultimately, coming back to it, it's definitely a tool that can be used for everyone.
So I want to go into DTF now, man. So DTF is another thing that's taken over. And there have been DTF printers that have challenged Supacolor. And you as the content that word right there.
Content strategist.
It wouldn't come out from that, but the content strategist.
Yeah.
Have you been attacked by those people or in those situations?
I I wouldn't necessarily direct attacks. Like I've seen, there's always be like people on YouTube that they go for the clickbait, so they'll go for, we're better than Supacolor, this and that.
Yeah.
It comes down to it. Everyone does that, even Pepsi and Coke do it. So there's nothing wrong with a little friendly competition. That being said, we're not too worried about DTF because as far as for anything quantity 10 and up, that's high colors, that's where we can step in and make sure that we're delivering a quality product that actually still washes properly. And that's something that, DTF is still a little shaky on in addition to DTG, where you can maybe get a good 50 washes out of it, but on some certain garments, not even as much. But as far as with Supacolor, with the water-based screen printing, and then the washability that's been coming off of it, that's actually been really great. But I've just been seeing people have been saying, hi, how's it going, everyone? Sorry about that.
Barb, we need you, Barb. Come on.
Barb, Marquise.
Come on,
What's going on, Marquise? See you, everybody.
You gonna leave Barb alone, see? Dang on it. Leave her alone.
Marquise says so much room in this industry. No need to buy the competition routine, period. People don't
and honestly, like there's nothing wrong with healthy competition. There's nothing wrong with doing what you can to get clicks, because ultimately that's all that every business is doing at the end of the day online when they're advertising, is they're battling for eyes and wanting to grab those clicks. That being said, when it comes to DTF versus Supacolor, it's not really a versus thing. Like, they're both really good tools that anyone that's making t-shirts can make. Because like, say if you have a design that you're really unsure of and you don't really want to go for that 10 run, it's fine to just DTG it or DTF it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's when you need that quality and that durability, that's when you can like turn to actually doing screen printing or even Supacolor as well.
Right.
Yeah. But no, there's nothing wrong with DTF at all, or using one or the other. But yeah, no, I do see, and I see in the comments right here too, that DTF companies do clickbait stuff saying they're better than Supacolor, and yeah, it's out there, and you'll see it honestly from any other company too. Like it's not even limited to us, but it's just part of the game, man. But at the end of the day, it's about proving what our value is to our customers and why people use us, and then just showing that to everyone else and doubling down on that and making sure we're helping people make it.
Yeah, man. And one thing about Supacolor is you get one print, your minimum 10 print or 1,000 print, they'll all look the same. The consistency, you won't have to worry about what a color change or whatever the case may be, like some of the DTF stuff. And I'm not knocking DTF because it definitely, I use it in this place, but
even I use it.
Yeah.
So like they both have their place in it. But yeah, like you said, like if you have 1,000-piece order and maybe you ask for 1,000 art pieces, but they give it to you on one big giant roll, then you got to cut out all those 1,000 pieces. So the cool thing with Supacolor is at that point you can just order the pre-cut ones, which we can do that full run and give it to you pre-cut, ready to place. Like that's been the cool part about what we can provide for people.
Right.
Can we talk about some of the formulas you guys have, like the wearables?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question.
Yeah. So just to do a quick overview for anyone who just heard of Supacolor or is just kind of getting into it. Our main one would be wearable. That's great for cotton t-shirts, fleece, and regular polyester and some blends. We have our special blocker transfer, which actually has a layer to block dye migration. So you would put that more on like sportswear, anything polyester that's actually you're going to experience more dye migration on. And with that dye migration being said, we also have the soft shell blocker, which acts the same, but it's more so for soft shell jackets and outerwear, which is it's a mix of fleece and polyester for those that don't know what soft shells are, which kind of give it like more of it's extra protective layer, but it still breathes. But with that being said, because of the heavy polyester materials in it, it does dye migrate and it does get hard for printing in general. So that's what that soft shell blocker transfer type is for. And then we got the headwear one, which I actually I'm using right here. So we got this from our friends at AS Color. Support your local print shop on their trucker, which is actually a dope design. And I love that message. So I'm always wearing this. So that's designed for headwear. It can bridge seams on structured caps. And yeah, then we got the promo one, which will be for like bags and umbrellas and stuff, which I actually got one of these right here. So that would be made with the promo transfer.
Yeah.
And
let me stop you right there, please. So when you say promo, why promo? Is it because of usage, or I mean, I understand the fact that it's for, you know, promotion and stuff, but is there a reason why that formula is different?
No, yeah, it has a little bit of a different formula, so that it's able to be applied to stuff like ripstop poly and nylon, those types of materials.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can.
That's Patrick.
How's it going, Patrick?
Patrick, what's going on
in there?
So as y'all see, I got some Supacolor gang sheet transfers right here. Shout out to Serge. Dope artwork right here. But being able to fit it all on one sheet and still be able to cut it without no issues and then stamp it. I have AAU teams since 2020 that brought in their actual jerseys that they've actually worn, and they're unscathed, they're unfazed. I've actually picked up some more AAU teams through that because of that quality. So what do we got going with the future of Supacolor?
So with the future, one of the big things we got coming up that we've actually teased through Big Brando, if not everyone has seen that video, is we got metallics coming up. So that being said, you're at no extra cost, you're going to be able to add a metallic look to your transfers, and that can be anyone from wearable all the way up to promo. So it's not limited to any transfer type. You can do it on all of them,
and at no extra cost.
Yep. So it's going to be a matte metallic look. It's not a foil; it's a matte metallic. So it's going to be using metallic ink, but you're still going to get that washability and that quality in there as well. So it's actually really exciting. We're going to be announcing that shortly here, so that's going to be huge, and we're really excited to get that out to you guys.
That's dope, man. So when you say shortly, can you got a ballpark?
Yeah, this summer. Yeah, so like at some point in the next couple months. Yeah. So we'll get that rolled out, and then we got a lot of really exciting stuff that I can't even talk about, but I really wish I could, and I can't wait to show you guys. That's all I have to say, is that all of you guys who love Supacolor, keep using Supacolor, just wait to see what we got coming for all you guys.
Man, you see this, so we can't get none that just fall off the back of the truck right quick or nothing.
But yeah, no, we're excited, man. There's a lot of cool stuff coming, and we're always basing it on what the Supa fam wants. And that being said, you know, we're constantly watching and listening to what everyone wants, and we're here to just continue helping people make it.
You see that there, Supacolor changed the game. Super Puff.
I see it.
So, Rum, if you see this, we need Super Puff, man. And then, you know, look, but I'm gonna let the record reflect, folks. I tried to get something to fall on the back of the truck. Them cigarettes stuck back there, man. Locked in, man. So I want to point out, man, Mike T's. I don't think I think you did a disservice to my brother here, brother. But I'm gonna just say this. So that Cleveland, the Compton Browns thing he just showed.
Hold on. He just throw that out there like that.
Serge actually did that artwork for him.
Yeah, and that was actually a really fun piece to work on, man.
So can you show that again? Thank you. A little higher, a little higher to the right, to the left, to the left, to the right.
Y'all got it.
Got it.
No, I can't have to tell you.
That's where it started right there.
Yeah, man.
That's where it started.
Super dope.
So if somebody wanted to utilize you for your artwork services like he did, what would be the steps to do that?
So as far as honestly, this was kind of like a for fun thing because I'm so damn busy. But no, man. As far as when Mike hit me up, he kind of just slid in the DMs, and be like, "Hey, I'm looking to get a commission going." And for me, I was like, "Man, I'm down to make some content out of this. Like, this will be a cool project to kind of work on." So that being said, if anyone's ever wanting to create something cool with Supacolor, you can always hit me up directly or DM us at Supacolor, and yeah, we'll see what we can do together.
Shout out your socials while we at it.
Oh yeah, right here. It's at the Creative Surge, so it's at TheCreativeSerg, and I'll be on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll be more active on the Instagram.
Can you do stitching design, Supacolor?
Stitching designs.
So, I saw a shout out A-Dub. A-Dub just by then printed out a stitch design with his directed garment printer the other day, and it's so detailed. So he said that when you get it digitized, you get that PNG file. Yeah. So I would imagine that Supacolor would be able to take that same file.
No, yeah. So in regards to Levite Apparel's question, no, yeah, that's definitely what we can do, and we've actually featured it a couple of times before. And this was a recent one we did with AS Color, and I thought this was really dope because we were able to do like a faux chenille look right there.
Yeah. Wow.
So that looks like a patch, but it's actually a transfer right there. I'll crumple that up.
That's dope.
So that being said, like that's literally the process right there. So you would get it digitized, and then you would submit that through Supacolor.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. What Marquis say?
What A-Dub did was fire.
Yeah, it was, man. So it just shows you that, man, there's really no limits left. You know what I mean? Like every time we think we went so far, there's still somewhere else to go with this whole t-shirt business, with the whole graphic design thing.
Oh yeah. And even that being said, our guy Clint, he designed this really awesome one where it was like a rhinestone look to it. So even that has like a mock rhinestone look that you can achieve through Supacolor.
I would like to see that. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I think we might have it here somewhere. I can run out and get it. But you got it, Renee? Yeah, I got Renee running to get it real quick.
That's dope. So Serge, man, Supacolor, like what has been the impact? You kind of touched on it, but what has been the impact on your life as a whole since joining Supacolor?
I think as a whole, like just going back to kind of, it's given an actual meaning to what I'm working on here. In regards to like say like when I was just creating like content, like for the tattoo company, like I was just making some guy rich. That's all I was really doing. There's no real community value here. When I joined Supacolor, we had the super fan. We're making everyone happy. Everyone's life is kind of being helped and changed in many different ways.
Yeah, man.
And ultimately, that's ultimately what really mattered to me. Even when, as a career, like if you're working somewhere where you don't really stand by the brand, like ultimately, what are you doing there? Either you're wasting your time or you're wasting their time, and it's not going to be fair for everyone. But when you kind of find a meaning behind what you're doing every day, you find a reason to keep doing it. And you see that validation through everyone you're working with. And even here, like seeing what you guys say about Supacolor, like it's almost like helping me bring that story around and making sure everyone knows about this, because, there's people out there that they'll treat, heat transfers like the secret sauce, so on and so forth. But we want this to be everywhere. We want it to be the tool for everyone that they can use. And, yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, man.
That's been a personal mission here at my shop, is to show as many people how to use Supacolor, and to me, it's the number one transfer company. And I can say
appreciate that, man.
I love.
Yeah.
You was gonna show us something. I think I cut you off right before you get ready to show it.
Oh no, you're good. No, you're good right there, and that's ultimately what we stand for is making sure that we live up to the fact that we're the world's best heat transfer, and that we're not just a heat transfer company. We help you make it. That being said, check out that rhinestone look right there.
Oh, that is.
So that is a flat transfer, but you got a mock rhinestone look. So that's actually what you can achieve with this, and it's actually a really cool option too. Like, say if you didn't want to like directly invest in getting a bunch of rhinestones made, you can get a short run of this. See, hey, is it going to look good on this garment? If it looks all right, it's going to look even better with the actual rhinestones all in there. So that's when you can move forward with it. And even then, that's something you don't have to do with Supacolor. You can achieve this just as well with DTG, with DTF, even with printable vinyl. So it's just all about just seeing how you can use these items as tools in your business and achieving what you want to deliver at the end of the day.
But it like that, it shows you like, man, you can, like I say, there's no limits, man, because I might not be able to afford that embroidery machine, or I don't have the time to do the rhinestone, but I can just do something like that, go get it digitized, or do the rhinestone look, and that takes my clothing brand to a whole nother level that other people aren't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go ahead.
And even then, it's ultimately a sales tool too that you can use at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I want to ask, man, the clothing brand consulting you do. So I'm creating a new clothing brand, and how does one go about creating a buzz before you actually do a drop for your social media with your clothing brand? What are some suggestions?
Yeah. So that being said, like I said before, DTF is a great tool to be able to use, especially at this point when you're super early in creating the brand. Where say you want to create one-offs, you're actually like basically creating samples. Now, say it doesn't have to feel the best, it doesn't have to wash the best. Ultimately, what you're getting is a visual aid. And this is something I want to drive home for everyone here. Like, everyone can get the same mock-ups from Shopify, from Printful, so on and so forth. It's all going to look the same. What you want to do is make sure that your stuff is looking different. So when you're growing this early on, make sure you get like a couple samples of what you want made. Then you create content around it and shoot photos that you can then feature in your site that look a little more unique than just the usual mock-ups on white and all the stuff that you can get from Printful. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, people are looking for authenticity, things that look real. And a lot of people got burned during the pandemic because it's like everyone joined Facebook ads. Facebook ad teams got overloaded with applications, so it's almost like they accepted everyone. So that being said, a lot of those regular mock-ups unfortunately started leading to scam pages where people just took the money and run. So that being said, the mock-ups just don't do what they used to back in the day. So there's 100% value in shooting your own stuff and showing what you can offer to your clientele.
Yeah, man. So what type of what am I trying to say? How would you build a brand story?
So building a brand story ultimately comes down to what you want to stand for. So I like to look at it almost like you're about to write a mystery novel. Like at the very end, you got all the answers and you work backwards. So you get your big, what's your big why is what you look at, and you work your way backwards from that, building a story around what leads to that, why your products support this. So that being said, a good way of doing that is kind of like a brainstorm tree, where at the very top you have your purpose, your why, and then you start making different branches of things that you can feature on your website and through your clothing brand that will support this story, and things that you can say in your marketing as well.
So that's pretty. I'm asking because, like, for myself, but then I know there's a lot of people that are trying to build brands, and my plan is to create a clothing brand this year. So I'm working on it, getting it just kind of trying to get the feel of where to go instead of just buying and creating a shirt or a jacket or whatever the hell and just trying to do a drop. You know what I mean? I want to make it interesting, and the start of my mystery novel is a perfect metaphor on how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just what it comes down to is everything that you drop, whether it's a t-shirt or whether it's an email that goes out, has to just support this purpose that you're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's just gonna like make sure that everyone you're trying to reach is making sure it's vibing with them.
Yep. So y'all take a lot of time into putting like content out. How many hours would you say that you edit and chop things and spice things?
Man, I'd say now like I don't edit as much as I used to. I used to be a whole lot of editing, but now it's like almost nonstop on the creation side. Like we're always brainstorming different new content pieces to bring out and how we can continue to like educate people on certain transfer types, on how they can use it. So it's almost nonstop here, man. Like I almost have weekends sometimes, just almost.
I get that, man, almost. But I, when I was growing up, we used to say almost on counts and hand grenades and horseshoes.
Yeah. No, but yeah, man, it's been awesome just creating content with Supacolor, and I'm really happy to see that it actually resonates with everyone, and that's what it just comes down to, is that we're here creating content that helps resonate with our story, which is we're here to help you make it as a transfer company. We're not just here to just sell you something and run.
So I have another question. You guys' turnaround is extremely fast.
Yep, we're super fast.
Yes, literally a day sometimes. I don't think I've waited that long. How do you guys get things out so fast?
It just comes down to a intricately well-oiled process that they don't even tell me about. That it's just been awesome that we just like make it happen. Like I'll go downstairs, I'll go check out like how things are made, but what it comes down to, I can't even fathom how we go so fast. And it's honestly, it just works out for everyone at the end of the day, because we're getting people the things they need at the speeds that they want. And at this day and age, especially with Amazon and shipping kind of being like almost instant, it's that kind of thing that you have to keep up with, especially like when you're working with people who are running a business, because that's their livelihood that they're dealing with. So that's what it comes down to. We want to make sure that we're being super fast so that you can actually deliver your jobs on time.
So, and another thing that I find dope about Supacolor, there's always extra transfers.
Yeah. Yep.
Always, and that goes along with that statement. We help you make it.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2 extra transfers or 5 extra transfers, that's a couple more dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, because it's there for both as a tool for you and as just additional stuff for you to make. Mm-hmm. But as long as you can dial in your press, you got it down, you got those extra transfers. Yeah, that's extra money in your pocket, and that's ultimately extra product you can deliver to your customers and just wow them with.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I got a question from the audience. Levi DePero, if you're doing transfers for a brand, how much do I need to order for it to be worth it, where everyone makes profit, $200 or more?
So the cool thing with Supacolor, especially for the business accounts, we actually we have really good wholesale pricing to begin with. And once you start getting into higher quantities, we start doing price breaks for quantities. So I think it starts at 50, I want to say. Once you start getting to the hundreds, you start getting really good price points. And then for the shops that are doing stuff in the thousands, they're getting transfers for super cheap. So that's just what it comes down to, is the higher the quantity, the better the price point you get. And then when it comes down to it, there's no setup fee that we add to it. We don't ask for rush charge. We don't ask for art fees, none of that. We just make sure that you get what you ask for with the artwork that you give us.
But even at just going to go buy 10 transfers, it's not that expensive. You can go get 10 gang sheets for $120, $130 or something like that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So when you bust that down, that's like $1.20 per sheet. But if I got this sheet, and that's the big one, I can't think of the numbers right now because my head, 11 by 7 by 16.5, and so if you got that sheet and I do a gang sheet and I'm paying $1.20, $1.30 or whatever, you bust that down, man, that's pennies for each design. Because say I get 6 different designs, man, the big print, the neck print, the shoulder, whatever, it boils down to pennies even buying 10. So imagine what you can make at buying 50 or 100, a couple hundred, So
No, yeah, absolutely.
How many images you got on that sheet right there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different images.
And that's the 11.7 by 15.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't do math. I can read better than I can do math. But you look at that sheet costs you, say, no, I can't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but no more than $1.50 for that sheet.
Yep.
And you got 6 prints on there. Do the math. It's a win. You win.
Yeah. And ultimately, like, it's also a tool where same, like, if you want to do a limited short run, you can put different designs on there if you want.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I saw we got a question here from David Bonahan asking how you set up gang sheets. We actually have a video on our YouTube, and you can also look at the video done by Big Brando, who did how to set up a gang sheet. He did a step-by-step process using Photoshop. And then if you don't got editing software like that for artwork, it's not a huge deal because you could always go to Heat Press Nation, Heat Transfer Warehouse, or Pro World and just set it up easily on their online designers.
Yeah, and if you haven't, man, we just did an interview with Big Brando. Was it last week or the week before? Last week. And y'all go check that out on the channel if you haven't. And if you're new here, man, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. We here every Thursday. Tell a friend to show up, man. But back to the regular scheduled programming.
How many Supacolor branches are there, like, out there? I know you guys are UK.
So the main branches will just be New Zealand was the very first one. Then we got USA, and then we have UK. So New Zealand will they service the New Zealand, Australia, and Asia area. USA, we do North America, South America, and then Great Britain will be doing the Europe area.
International.
Yep, we're international. And, we're actually been growing a lot there in the UK. So yeah, we're definitely going way international now.
That's dope, though, man.
Yeah, it's exciting, and even seeing on the flip side of that, I'm also creating stuff for the UK side, and seeing customers on that side, even their stories, and even that whole dynamic. Like, there's a whole different market in the UK too. So that's always been interesting too. Mm-hmm. to navigate as well. So it's a fun learning process, and that we're growing, and can't wait to keep bringing it across the world.
Yeah, that's man. Awesome. Graphic Warehouse, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Graphic?
So, Serge, can we get what's your day, man? You say tell us how, you said you're busy. What's a typical day for you?
So a typical day for me, I mean, honestly, is coming in and instantly just talking to our creative director, which would be Clint. He's from out of New Zealand, and talking to our president, Ram. So those will be mainly the two main guys in which we basically come together, meeting of the minds, and just talk about what are we going to do, what's going to be the why of this content, how are we going to make this, and then setting the goals from there. From there, it's just executing on whether I got to interview some people about, getting some insight on the market, or if I got to put together a video. That's ultimately what my day can look like. But it's a different day every day. Like today, I spent most of my day editing, but yesterday I spent most of the day doing a lot of creative strategy work, which we were a lot of doing, just mainly brainstorming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at this. So, Serge, what are some of the trends? So you see and deal with a lot of the content creation. What are some of the trends you're seeing as far as artwork going nowadays?
As far as artwork, one thing that I instantly noticed, especially going into working with Supacolor, since we're working with a lot more short runs, so that means it's a lot more of the fast fashion stuff. So they're doing stuff to keep up with current trends. Is that a lot of stuff is just going back in time now. When we started, it was the Millennium 2000s and 90s look. Now it's going way back to the retro look. So for this summer, you're getting like the weird retro wavy psychedelic look on titles and text. People are huge on tie dyes again. Tie dyes are going to be huge this summer, especially truckers are huge again. But yeah, no, that's one of the big trends I see is just going backwards in time. It's coming full circle. It's hilarious.
Like the flower power.
Yeah. It's like at this rate, in the next couple years, we're going to be looking at 1950 styles on everyone.
Right.
They say history repeats itself, so you already know.
Yeah, 100%.
Marquis got a good question. He said, where do you see the industry in about 5 years overall?
Oh, that's a really great question. As far as the industry, 100% heat transfer is going to be adopted as a tool within the print shop for high production, because you're starting to see it with a lot of different heat presses that are starting to see the potential here, especially with industrial DTG and DTF and even Supacolor. Like, for example, the Super Press, which we actually started offering just recently. I don't know if you guys have seen the content on that, but it's like this rotating forehead press that's offered by East West Machines. That's getting huge, and a lot of other heat press companies are popping up and creating ways to be producing heat pressing at high production numbers that are to match the print shop output.
That's the one you had at the show, right?
That black rotating one, and then you also have the Stampinator, which that one's super awesome. When we were doing the Super Stamp competition, the kid who won, Sam Lapsevich, the speed he was going at, what it showed on the readout, he was going at 600 shirts per hour.
Damn.
That's just heat transfers. Like, it wasn't even like they weren't running the squeegees or nothing. That's just the Stampinator itself pressing down the heat transfer and then going around going around to the post press. It was actually pretty intense. I didn't even think that you could actually output that much with heat transfers, and it was really eye opening for everyone there. They were like, "Damn, all right."
It's gonna be a part 2 of that competition, ain't it?
Yeah.
My guys gonna bring that back.
I'm sure there will be. Yeah, when we bring that back, either at Printing United or at Impressions again, but that has to come back for sure, because that was a really great one.
He said also, what major real raw advice will you give someone who wants to start up in this industry? Hit them straight, no hype.
All right. So someone told me this, and I thought it was really great advice, especially when I was kind of trying to start my own little thing, is if you can't sell a t-shirt to your family or to your direct friends, it's time to get your ass to work.
Man.
That's real talk.
Yeah, that's real talk right there.
So in other words, he telling all those people that say my friends and my family don't support me, we don't want to see the memes no more. That's one thing I've never had to say that, man. My friends and family have been a great support for me doing this stuff, even when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. They didn't even tell me that I didn't, but I knew. But dang, that's real. It is, man.
Yeah, you wanted to it raw.
Yeah, man.
There you go. No, but that being said, don't let that discourage you from getting started in the industry. Like literally, it's not hard to sell a t-shirt. It's all about figuring out who your market is, what works, what doesn't. And ultimately, another great piece of advice is what you like may not be what the market likes. So that being said, just get on Etsy, get on Google, look at your local mall, shopping mall, see what's trending, and see what you can create that can be based off of that without completely ripping it off, but more so following the trend.
Free game.
Yeah. I was told that you gotta like what you love and love what you like to do. That way, it doesn't seem like work. To me, when I see you, Serge, it seems like you're always having fun and you love what you do.
Yeah, we love it here. So yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, if you don't love what you do, then why do it, right?
Yeah, man.
For those that's out there that is skeptical, give them some motivation. Give them some words of advice. I know you got it.
Sure, words of advice, right? Like,
yep.
This man, like I was no straight A student. I'm coming from, being overdrafted $300, not knowing when I'm gonna get my next meal type of deal. Like, it's all about building your character and making sure that at the end of the day, the work that you're putting out, even if it's the smallest job, like I started out working at Sonic and I was making chili cheese tots, but even when I was there, I was the best goddamn chili cheese tot maker, and you better believe it.
I heard that.
So, at the end of the day, like, you just apply yourself, make sure the higher up see it, and then don't be a dick. That's what it's all about.
Period. So I got to double back to the rhinestone transfers, man, while it's on my mind.
Yeah, no worries.
Clint created those?
I'm sorry, what's that?
You said Clint created that?
Yeah, Clint. So he did kind of like the mock-up design with that. But with that being said, it would be easy for you to kind of isolate these kind of elements, especially if you go on a website. Like, say if there's like a website you use that they provides you with like vectors of rhinestones. As soon as you assemble them to create an image like this will be easy for you to create, because this is ultimately what he did. So, and then you can see there's like some shapes that he kind of like squeezed in a bit to kind of look a certain way, but it's definitely possible to do that the same way. Yeah.
So Clint, we need a tutorial on how you do that, because you're gonna change a lot of people's lives with that right there.
You hear that, Clint?
We need to know, man. That's a life changing thing right there for some of us out here, man, that don't have the knowledge, brother.
Oh yeah. Stuff, man.
Yeah. So I have another question about the future. Do you guys plan on doing any glow in the darks? I know you said metallic, but
I mean, as far as glow in the dark, I don't see it ruled out as a possibility. Like, anything can happen, but in the near future, I'm not so sure. But I've seen them popping up at the shows, and I think it's really cool. And it definitely has, its place with its niches, especially if you're working, like, say, with music festivals. If you're doing like some cool anime stuff, I could see where that could be applied and actually add to that whole look. But as far as it being offered here from Supacolor, not any time in the future, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I got asked by Sky Zone. I don't know if you guys part of Sky Zone or know what a Sky Zone is. It's like a big trampoline place.
Yeah.
All their stuff is like glow in the dark. Or the whole facility is what is that? The glow in the dark lighting. I don't know what the name of it is.
Yeah, that black light situation.
Black light. Yeah. So, you really ain't gonna let nothing fall off the back of that truck, though?
He's still.
Man, the boss.
That's me again where we're not live. when my bosses can't see us. Otherwise, I gotta call him around like, "Hey, what'd you just tell him, man?"
Yeah.
Man, shout out Run, man. Run, we want to sit down with you, man. We want to know. We want to hear from the horse's mouth. I didn't mean to call you no horse, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's all for it. But like I said, his schedule's been crazy. He's out in Germany right now, but as soon as he's back, man, I'll hit him up again and see what we can do to link him up and get him on here as well.
Yeah, that would be
great.
Cool.
And I want to make sure that show some love on here as well.
Yeah, man. Supacolor, man. Supacolor. It definitely was it hit this industry by storm.
Yeah, it did.
Like, and it's changed some lives. So We can't get nothing to fall off the back of the truck. I'm trying. Look, I'm trying for y'all, man. I'm trying to find out too, man. But so now, really, Clint,
Rum's watching, man.
right on.
Ask me again later.
So, but if y'all could create that content for that rhinestone thing, man, I think that'll be great. That will change some lives for some people, man, because everybody don't want to do rhinestone, but they want that look. And so I see you pulled up your pad. What do you use, iPad and Procreate to do your artwork?
Yeah, as far as like doing sketching stuff, I like using Procreate. But when it comes to creating marketing materials, things like that, I'm always using Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. That's my main arsenal right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna ask, man, what's your specialty as far as the art world? What do you like drawing? What do you like creating?
As far as what I really like drawing as of like the last couple of years was I like creating mashups. So that being said, I like doing a lot of mixing things together that shouldn't be together. So like for example, is one of my favorite ones I did of all time. So we got Hank Hill as Naruto. I gotta bring my brightness down a little more. Hold on one second. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
So got that one. Just doing things like that. I did Pikachu as Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Yeah, just doing things like that. Got Joker, Krusty the Clown. Just doing mashups like that. That's what I got really into for a bit. I try not to like create merch with it just because like it can get like a little weird there. That being said,
right.
Creating actual characters on stuff on t-shirts can land you in some real trouble. But no, as far as creating the art, like this has always been fun for me. Just like trying to see like different things I can create, and ultimately what I really like doing as of late as well is looking at styles that I want to work my way up to and kind of just practicing at it. And yeah.
So you spoke on getting a couple characters like copyright infringement. The reason I'm bringing this up, I had submitted something and I thought I had took everything out, but you guys stopped it immediately, and then I got an email that says this is a copyright infringement. How do y'all see that a lot often, or
no? I honestly, yeah, like it will pop up here and there. Like obviously, you do have those businesses that they're creating their Disney family trip type of stuff that we do have to raise the red flag from time to time, like if they are actually using actual characters. But that's not only for our protection, but their protection as well, because when it comes down to it, it's who's selling it and who made it is who can get in trouble for it. So that's basically what that safeguard is there for. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, maybe you made $200 on that little short run of Disney shirts you made, but now Disney's coming back at you asking for 10 grand and so yeah. And that's actually a real problem that's going around out there, where Etsy shops are being shut down and people are being kicked off of Shopify. So yeah, it's just tread lightly when it comes to anything intellectual property that you don't have a license to.
Yeah, it's crazy though how many people post. Like you'll see a post where they did Disney, they done took a Disney with the Coca-Cola logo and the Nike logo, and put them all put them all in a design together, and then posted it with their business name as a watermark. Like, I don't understand like why people aren't in it for the creativity of it. Why you want to just go steal? Why not create? Why not learn, or even for that matter, go to Fiverr, man?
Yeah. Because
I can see something in my head. If I can't draw it, I just go tell somebody else to do it for me.
Oh yeah, 100%. And with that said, yeah, there's plenty of resources out there where it's not like back in the day where it'd be like, hey, any artists? And like, yeah, maybe someone knew someone who was maybe an okay artist, but they couldn't get your vision. Now you have endless resources through Fiverr, through Upwork, even through like people like that are hitting you up in Instagram. I know everyone gets those DMs where they're like, "You need help digitizing."
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
those guys, like whether they're annoying or not, they'll be able to help you. So like that being said, like there's no reason why you got to put your business, your livelihood, and your life in jeopardy just because you wanted to print a couple Lilo and Stitches on a T-shirt.
How you feel about all them Instagram DMs, man? All the manufacturers and digitizers and all them people.
I actually I made a I made a T-shirt of one.
That was dope. That was dope.
I made a T-shirt of one. No, like honestly, it's okay. So yeah, it's one way to find business, but when it comes down to it, like, and no one giving money to someone who's coming at you going like, "Dear sir, madam,"
Yeah.
like like it's sketchy enough that you barely typing like in really broken up English, and you're back telling me that, oh yeah, we provide cotton from this area that may or may not be controversial at the moment.
Yeah, and then they'll call you dear. If one more call
Yeah,
you
hello dear. Yeah. It's like listen, man, like
I made a video.
Yeah, it is annoying, but it's just going to be lessons for them all that at the end of the day, either Instagram's going to mark them all as spam, or they're just not going to be converting business, and they're going to learn to maybe restructure their marketing style. Which obviously, if I was going from DM to DM going, hello, dear sir, madam, do you like heat transfer? Like, I'm not going to convert nothing that way.
Yeah, oh man, at all. Then they're like, we're waiting on your response. I've had them call my phone.
Yeah, no, they'll track you down. They'll even try. They'll even come at you trying to place scam orders, being like, "Hey, I want 600 Gildan shirts with nothing on them." But I want
I've had that several times.
No, that's sketchy. That's sketchy. No, get out of here. Report.
Yeah, I've had that several times, man.
Yeah.
So I did a video, and it said to all overseas clothing manufacturers, and then my face switches to a month and say, "Stay the hell out of my inbox." Every time I repost that video, you know how many get in my inbox though?
Yeah. I gotta just send those directly to them. How much your sample? You know what, man? We don't charge for samples. So once you sign up with Supacolor, we'll send you a sample pack automatically. If you're already signed up with us and you didn't get a sample pack, just shoot us an email, hello@supacolor.com, and then we can send you a sample pack, and then we'll get you some tester strips as well.
He said, I still don't know how these people found my WhatsApp, man. So one of my friends I communicate through WhatsApp, and so I had that in my phone, and as of like today, I had 2 or 3 in my WhatsApp already. It's connected to your phone number and your email. So
yeah, and like your Facebook as well. That's what it comes down to ultimately, is they try to see what Facebook pages have, because there's real sketchy services you can use out there where you can literally pay a bot to scrape all of Facebook and then give you a list of profiles that own a t-shirt business. You could use that effectively to maybe offer them some services, but when you're using that to like bother them at their personal number, calling them at 9 p.m. being like, hello, sir, madam, that's not the right way to do it. But
and then they'll send you like 47 different pictures. Man, I don't want to look at nothing.
Yeah, no, man. Like sending you like, oh, I make gloves. Like, I don't need gloves. Like, you see me selling gloves.
Yeah, or the ones that get me though is they'll see me with my heat press, and they'll see me press a shirt and be like, I can make that for you. So can I be? Oh, look, I'm getting angry in here, right?
Yeah. You just watched me make it. Come on.
Yeah,
right, the whole video, and then
yeah, man.
They're funny, man.
Y'all are in a lot of shows that go out throughout the year, and you did mention a few. One, the Rock Fest coming up. Can you let us know what other shows you guys will be attending?
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, Rockfest next Friday, June 2nd. That'll be out in Florida, Claremont, Florida. If anyone like in the area can join us, it's free to attend. RSVP with Rock. Our next major shows are going to be Designer Con in Anaheim. That was going to be really dope. So if you guys are into like designer figures, things like KAWS and the like, that's going to be a huge convention to go to. We're actually going to be offering some live pressing right there, and then trying to link up with a lot of toy manufacturers there to kind of show them what we're all about, see how we can help them beyond just, making their figures. Maybe we can get their figures on merch. So that will be there at Designer Con in Anaheim. I believe that's in September. And then after that, we'll be at Printing United in Atlanta in October. That'll be our next major show.
Yeah, with those toy companies, that's good money.
Yeah. And then I went to check it out last year to see if it was something worth going to. And honestly, like I almost wish I didn't go, because I walked out of there like minus $500. Figures and shirts and things I didn't even need.
Yeah.
Box. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have come here.
Look at it this way, man. You pay for the experience, man.
Yeah. No, it was ultimately, it was fun though. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
See, the only thing about the show in Anaheim, you there, you go there. When that's over, Disneyland is going to be not too far away. Then you don't want to go to Disneyland.
It's literally down the way, or you can always go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
Down the way, hang out with Sergio. We'll do some barbecuing.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Barbecuing. I've been barbecuing. Ooh. I love barbecue.
Oh, yeah, man.
I've been barbecuing 2-3 times a week, and it ain't even June yet, man.
Yeah, man. We have opposite weather over here for summer now. It's supposed to be June, but it's raining right now outside. Like just for Mother's Day, that was like
Los Angeles.
Yeah. In Los Angeles, it's been raining the last couple of days, and it looks like it's gonna like keep going that way into July. So I think that's hilarious. Can't barbecue as much as I wanted, but
that's crazy.
I did get to get it, on Mother's Day. I actually got down, made some jerk chicken for everyone. So
I saw that the weather's really weird out there, because I saw recently, a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, there was a hurricane in Compton.
Yeah, the El Nino popping around again. So
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's
definitely
kind of feel bad for everyone who planned their great big West Coast summer vacation. They're arriving for rain.
Yeah, real deal. All this weather's weird. Like right now, it says, my phone said it's supposed to be 81 degrees, but my house is cold. And the way my house sits, the sun hits us. So I always got to have the AC on. There's no AC on, and it's cold in here. So a lot of, I don't know. I guess the weatherman, though, with the weather, though, they the only people that get paid to tell a lie. But so one more question from me while it's on my mind.
Yeah.
About that truck. about that box falling out.
That's so good.
Nah, no.
That's I'm out here, man.
What?
Nah, okay, man.
He just left I'm sorry, man. I'm in here trying for y'all, man. He good. I usually get him to slip up there. He good. He good.
But definitely, there's a lot of great stuff coming out of the woodwork. We look forward to seeing everyone at all these shows, and then seeing how we can continue to ultimately help you make it.
Yeah, man.
Before we get all the way out of here, what's the top social media sites that you guys use? And everybody I know say 2 or 3 of the same things, but I'm interested in the ones that you guys use.
So the social media sites we focus on ultimately is going to be our biggest one is Instagram, and we have Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and then our YouTube page. Our YouTube page has been growing a bit. We just hit a little over 5,000 subscribers, so that's been pretty exciting. So it's growing little by little, but it's getting exciting there. We're starting to post a lot more content on there, getting more on the educational side. So we just want to make sure that we're growing that subscriber count, making sure everyone learns from all that stuff.
Marquis said, great episode, squad. Some true insights and wisdom shared. Thanks, Serge.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Marquis. And then I recognize your name from always showing us love ever since the very beginning, man. I appreciate you. Hope all's been well with you guys.
And my friend Bard, currently 72 here in North Central Minnesota. Absolutely gorgeous out. Yeah, man. Barb, come on, Barb. We need you. We wanted to sit down and talk to you too, Barb. Come on. Come on out the wood. Come on out.
Hey, Sergio, you've been harassing Bar too, like he got you today.
She's an interesting person. She does a lot.
Yes, she do. Shout out to Bar.
A lot. I love to tell her story. But she come on, Barb. Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in. So, man, before we close, Serge, man, I just want to thank you, brother, for coming in, sitting down with us, Supacolor.
Yeah, no problem.
Making all the stuff. And is there anything you want to tell the people before we close?
I just keep creating, document everything, post it, and amazing things will keep happening.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Supacolor, man. Y'all been, I gotta say, from the beginning, family, tight, close, and they really, really do help you make it. So, Levi, go ahead and purchase that sample pack so you can try them out if you haven't tried them out. And anybody else out there in the audience.
Yeah. That's the $0. We got you.
Yeah, Levi, man, I don't know where you been, brother. It's 2023, man. You ain't got no Supacolor in your life, man. That's my guy.
Gotta get that. Got him on. Put him on it.
Yeah.
So again, man, thank you for coming out, Serge.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me, man. This is great.
Clint, we need that tutorial, Clint. Calling all Clint for the tutorial. We're looking forward to seeing that on the YouTube, and I will share. So we're gonna get it out there for you. And to all y'all in the audience, man, we love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for coming in, stepping in, being here, all the support. Marquis, man, you try to take my job today, brother. I appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, some great though. Levi too, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep. Peace.
Thank you.